Now, there's a very special guest here that I'd like to introduce to you all. It's my new boyfriend, Roy. I watched with horror as Roy appeared out of the crowd and let Jenna link arms with him. Huh? What? Why was my boyfriend with my sister? I glared straight at him, but he couldn't meet my gaze. This was terrible. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Panicked, I rushed outside to get some air. Everything of yours will soon be mine, no matter how well you hide it. Mom, come here and see what Agnes has done to my dress. Oh no, what now? Look at this, Mom. It's crumpled. This is all your fault. I told you that this requires hand washing. That means by hand. Oh, don't cry, honey. I'll buy you a new one. You can give that one to Agnes. It's yours now. New dress. Happy, huh? Can we go right now, Mom? Then let's have pizza after that. I'm so tired of Agnes's pretentious fine dining dishes. Of course, honey. Yeah, I know. That sure looked like a scene from Cinderella, right? Only stuff like that was a daily occurrence in this house. If I was adopted, then it'd be easier to understand why Mom favored my sister over me. But nope, I am also her actual daughter. Growing up with Jenna as my big sister was a nightmare. She's always been the golden child, while I was treated like a thorn in their side. If something broke, then I got the blame. When Jenna stole my things, then Mom just said I should be flattered. Then there were the birthday parties. Over the years, Jenna had it all. Fairy-themed ones, magicians, a petting zoo, and cupcake towers. As for me, all I ever got was a card with a wrinkled $20 note in it. It was the same thing with studying. If she broke her string of D's with a C, Mom rewarded her with jewelry and makeup. Me? Just one C out of usual straight A's, and Mom'd say, "Oh, why did I even get my hopes up?" Sometimes I do wonder if all this shabbiness is because Jenna's always been pretty and popular. She's basically a mini-me version of Mom, while I guess I'm more reserved, and I don't really look like Mom. Anyways, despite living in a house full of darkness and unfairness, I still have my own passion, which is culinary. To be honest, I'm addicted to those TV cooking shows and always tried to find ways to follow them. My dream is to become a head chef in a 5-star restaurant. At school, Jenna always blanks me. She hangs out with this group of girls who are all obsessed with the same things she is, such as makeup, trendy clothes, and TikTok. Jenna does look gorgeous, so it's not surprising that boys usually buzz around her in the hope of catching her attention. Anyway, forget Jenna, as I have my best friend Ruth right here. Girl, I swear to God, if I were you, I'd tear up some of her clothes just for my own relief. Nice idea, I said while playing with my tray of food as usual. It looks so good. Very appetizing. Startled, I looked up to find a pair of dazzling eyes staring back at me. Hi, I'm Roy. That's very neat-handed of you. Before I could say anything, he winked and turned away to his table. That was close, or else he would have seen my tomato-red face. Looks like someone's on the hot guy's radar. Shut up. He was just being friendly. But no, that night when I got home, Roy in fact did message me. And we had a really long chat. He even asked me to join him for lunch the next day. Yay! This was so exciting. I'd entered the canteen to find Roy was already sitting there waiting for me, but I quickly spotted Jenna's group passing by, and the last thing I need is trouble from my evil sister. So I was actually thinking of walking away, but right at that moment, Roy grinned and waved over at me. OMG, that hot boy over there is waving at you, Jen. A girl flattered Jenna before I could even answer Roy. Jenna quickly fixed her hair, then smiled awkwardly at him, but he walked straight past her and over to me. Here, for you. What kind of first-class dishes do we have today? I smiled at Roy and had no choice but to sit down with him, ignoring Jenna's furious glare. Despite the awkward Jenna situation, lunch with Roy was amazing. We started hanging out loads more after that. He's cute, funny, and very supportive towards my culinary dreams. Then one day, Roy handed me a cupcake with a frosted heart on it and asked me to be his girlfriend. Yippee! This was so exciting! So, of course I agreed, but only on the condition that we kept our relationship low-key. I'd never had anything of my own before, so if my mom and sister didn't know about us, then they couldn't tarnish it, right? Falling in love is a magical thing. I was just so happy and full of life all of the time. Even doing chores for Mom and Jenna didn't dampen my mood. I thought you were only into cooking. So what, you like laundry now? Pfft, don't tell me you want to be a fashion designer next. I ignored her and carried on with what I was doing. Actually, I ignored all of Mom and Jenna's mocking jibes. The truth was, I was way too happy to let them bother me anymore. Soon, Jenna's 17th birthday party arrived, and this time she insisted on having it at this trendy restaurant in town. All of our relatives and her friends were invited, but I decided not to go. It's not like anyone wanted me there anyway, so I didn't think it'd matter. But to my surprise, on the day of the party, Jenna knocked on my bedroom door and begged me to come. "Please, Agnes, I want you there on my special day. It won't be the same without you." Then she passed me a bag and left. I opened it, and inside was the most beautiful dress. Okay, so Jenna being nice was strange, but I must admit it felt good to feel wanted for once. So it looks like I was going to the ball. Wow, the party was insane. I'm talking banners, balloons, a whole booth devoted to presents, a menu only serving Jenna's favorite foods. I was sipping my drink, feeling awkward, when Jenna addressed the room. "Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my 17th birthday party. Now, there's a very special guest here that I'd like to introduce to you all. It's my new boyfriend, Roy." I watched with horror as Roy appeared out of the crowd and let Jenna link arms with him. Huh? What? Why was my boyfriend with my sister? I glared straight at him, but he couldn't meet my gaze. This was terrible. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Panicked, I rushed outside to get some air. "Everything of yours will soon be mine, no matter how well you hide it." I turned to see that Jenna was standing there, a huge smirk on her face. How could she be this shameless? I shoved past her and went to find Mom. She was shouting at the waiter to bring out more drinks. I went up to her and spluttered out what Jenna had done and how upset I was. "Jeez, stop making such a fuss about it. Jenna's your sister, so just be happy for her. Besides, Roy is far more suited to her than you." Ugh, that's it. I can't stand this selfish family anymore. I'm leaving. "Yeah, go. Disappear just like your no-good father did." That night I showed up at Ruth's house with a bag of my stuff and a teary face. But I knew this could only be temporary, so I still looked around for somewhere else to stay. And eventually I applied for a job as a grocery cashier at a 24/7 gas station. Well, at least I had shelter. One night, a drunk man walked in. He didn't look so good. Nothing could lighten a person's mood better than great food, right? The store was quiet, so I took some of the ingredients available and used them to prepare a delicious-looking dish for him. "Thank you so much, sweetie. I'm Keith. You have a culinary talent. If you want a better opportunity, come find me." Before I could thank him, he left. Let's see. Bar owner? I wasn't old enough to work in a bar, though. I spent the next month juggling school with work, life, and oh boy, was it exhausting. But when I asked for my salary, my boss laughed in my face, saying that since I was only 16, he could only pay me for far less hours than I'd worked? What? That wasn't fair. I worked my butt off on sometimes 12-hour-long shifts. But when I complained, he threatened to report me for stealing food from the store. Ugh, I'd only taken expired food that couldn't be sold anyway. Feeling bummed out, I just quit, and then left. I wandered around the street for a while, then looked up and found myself standing in front of that man's bar. Well, I had nowhere else to go, so I stepped inside and there was Keith, but he looked so different. "Other than this bar, I also own a fine dining restaurant uptown. If you want, I'd love to train you to become a chef there." Whoa, this was so amazing that I cried with joy. In order to be able to stay overnight at the restaurant, I told him that my parents had passed away and I'd run away from the orphanage. And the man agreed without questioning me twice. Time passed by, and you know what? I loved working at the restaurant. As for Keith, he's such a kind-hearted man. We grew so close, and he became like a father to me. I guess we were two lonely people who helped each other. So it made sense when he asked to adopt me. Then one busy evening, I was taking food to a table, but then I stopped dead. Sitting there were Jenna and Roy. On seeing me, Jenna sneered out, "Oh, you work here? Now that explains why my appetizers were gross." Roy looked embarrassed and begged her to be quiet, which only made her worse. Then seeing what was going on, Alistair, the restaurant supervisor, came to my defense. But it only made Jenna even more heated. "Isn't the customer always king? Why are you defending that dumb girl?" "Miss, this is a fine dining restaurant. Please mind your manners. Agnes here is not only a very talented chef, but she's the owner's daughter, which makes her my boss. So I think I'm within my rights to defend my superiors." Jenna rolled her eyes at me, then walked away in anger, not forgetting to reply, "Just you wait, Agnes." Then, seeing my glum face, Alistair invited me out for ice cream after work. Keith happily told us to go and said he'd close the restaurant. As I was licking my ice cream, I noticed people around us shout, "Fire! Fire!" So I pulled Alistair's hand and ran after them. As the flames came into view, my heart sank when I realized they were coming from... It was the restaurant. Oh no, Keith was still in there. Without giving it a second thought, I charged in there to find him. It was so smoky and impossible to see, but I couldn't give up. Suddenly, I started to go dizzy and lightheaded. Then an arm grabbed me and pulled me out. It was Alistair, and standing next to him was... Keith. Phew. A few days later, the police called Keith. They'd found the culprit who started the fire. As soon as I walked into the police station, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was Jenna. But most surprisingly, when Keith saw my mom, they both turned pale and gave astonished looks. Huh? Did they know each other? So yeah, turns out Keith's mine and Jenna's actual father. When Dad was young, he hadn't built his career but just spent all day in the kitchen. So he was always despised and scolded by my mom. In the end, he couldn't take her belittling of him anymore, so he left. Only unbeknown to him, Mom was pregnant with me at the time. So the story she said about Dad running off with his mistress was all lies. I got it now. She despised me because I took after my dad, not her. As soon as Jenna realized he was our dad and he was rich, she put on her Little Miss Sweet act and begged for him to be her dad again. But he just gave her a stern look and said, "That fire of yours could have killed us all. Now you have to live with that." Then he took my arm and led me out of there. I always believed my life would one day be better, but I never imagined it'd be as good as this. I now have an amazing dad, a job I'm passionate about, and people who generally care about me by my side. It just goes to show that everything works out perfectly in the end.
I kept to the shadows, a face unseen, too shy to speak, yet, too cringe. Zara, how's the poem? I'm going live in 60 seconds. Just a few minutes. I'm almost done. Hi, I'm Zara, writer, overthinker, professional shadow dweller. And that's Maya, my stepsister. Same age, but from opposite planets. Oh, my sweet little Shakespeare. Give me the goods. My mom married her dad a year ago. Maya's a mega social media star with millions of followers, viral videos, and because she was always sharing lovely poems, her fans call her the word queen. Everyone praised Maya's talents online and at school, but no one knew the real poet was me. The words were mine, but the applause was hers. Even though I wish I could hear those words of praise, I know it's just not possible. Even if I wanted to perform, I couldn't. I dreamed of being published one day, maybe under a pen name, just like my favorite poet, LK, who dropped his first collection at 14 without anyone even knowing what he looked like. I'm painfully shy. I literally fainted during open mic once. I don't even raise my hand in class, even when I know the answer. I couldn't even share my poetry in front of my parents. I just didn't have the courage. In the meantime, at least I knew my poems were good, thanks to Maya. We got along. Our parents got along. Life was chill. But all that was about to change, in the most epic way possible. It was in the 11th grade. I was drafting a new poem for Maya when I saw him. The most handsome guy I had ever seen walked into my classroom. Everyone, welcome Liam. He just transferred to our school. Ooh, he's gorgeous! Maya could be so shameless when it came to boys. But this time, yeah, I couldn't even blame her. The guy looked like he walked straight out of a Korean movie. Liam, would you like to introduce yourself? Despite all the eyes on him, Liam walked straight to the back of the class, picked an empty seat, and buried his head in his arms like no one else existed. And Maya didn't take not being noticed too well. Well. Hey, new guy. Liam, right? I'm Maya, school queen and your future girlfriend. He ignored her. Like, actually ignored her. Which for someone like Maya was basically a public slap in the face. Fine, be that way then. You will be begging me to date you in no time. Seeing a guy turn Maya down for the first time was epic. But seriously, couldn't the guy talk? It didn't take long for rumors about him being mute to start spreading. Honestly, I started believing it too. He never spoke, never reacted. Until a month later, and that's when everything changed. In my quest to hopefully conquer my overt shyness, I joined the school's poetry club. And it had been fine so far, but what I didn't expect was to see Liam show up at my club. Does anyone have a beautiful poem they'd like to share with the class this week? It could be something you've written yourself or a poem by a poet you love. I always had something, but sharing it out loud, in front of people, I still hesitated almost every time. Liam quietly volunteered, and for the first time I heard his voice.
In the quiet I bloom. No stage, no lights, no room. Just a whisper and a pen. Again and again.
His voice was soft and steady, And that poem, I knew it. It wasn't his original. It was written by LK, my favorite poet ever. Was he a fan of LK too? Was this fate? I stayed up all night thinking about him. I wanted to talk about poetry, life, weather, anything. Or maybe we could write a poem together. Or, get married. Now I knew he could talk. I made an effort to talk to him, and it backfired full time. The poem you read yesterday was beautiful. Why don't you speak up more often?
Asking me why I don't talk often when you barely speak? Pretty hypocritical, don't you think?
Wait, so he had noticed me? He probably just thought I was the shy, quiet type, which was true. But that wasn't all I wanted him to know about me. If he's so into poetry, maybe the only way to get his attention is with a poem. So I wrote one. An honest, personal confession of admiration. Maybe even feelings. I'd slip it into his locker before the club's meeting tomorrow. Even if he might ignore it, I had to try. But the next morning, I couldn't find the poem anywhere. Has anyone seen the pink paper sheet on my desk?
What's wrong, honey?
Maybe the wind blew it away. Nobody had any clue, and I was running late, so there wasn't time to rewrite. But later at school, Maya burst into the cafeteria holding that exact pink note. Everyone, listen up! I have something important to say, especially to you, Liam. It was my poem, my feelings, but in her voice. Hearts don't speak, but mine will. One glance and I'm undone. Say the word and I'm the one. Maybe Liam liked it.
You wrote that? I didn't think you were the poetry type. So why aren't you in the poetry club?
Everything inside me shattered. My poem, my crush, gone, taken from me. I felt used, betrayed. Seeing them hang out after that hurt. And the worst part, I couldn't confront her without our parents getting involved. But I couldn't just let it slide. Sweet sister, I'm going live in 10 minutes. Got a poem for me? I'm not feeling very poetic today. Do something else for your fans. Wait, what? You always have a poem. Geez, I don't know, maybe because you've already stolen them all? Like the last one, remember? Daddy! As expected, she went running to Dad.
Zara, get down here!
But this time, I wasn't going to put up with the unfairness anymore. Even with all of Maya's tricks to make our parents believe I was the bully, I wasn't afraid anymore.
Why didn't you help your sister?
I had actual schoolwork, and maybe I just didn't feel like being used today.
The least you could do is support my daughter's dreams.
Oh, so you don't see me as your daughter too, huh? What about my dreams?
Zara?
No, Mom, I'm done with being Maya's personal poet. When do I get to matter? She stole something that meant everything to me.
Stole what? What are you talking about?
That poem I was looking for? Maya took it and performed it like it was hers, in front of Liam. That poem was personal. My confession. Maya looked at me like I was gum on her shoe. And I performed it better.
Maya! Don't speak to my daughter like that. Oh, now she's your daughter again?
See what I said about my parents not getting along if Maya and I didn't get along? That was it. The world thinks I wrote it. Liam clearly liked it. Be real, Zara. Even if you wrote him 1,000 poems, you'd never have the guts to say one out loud. You don't have the guts. Even my parents were staring after her in shock. They probably never knew how selfish she was till now. Her laugh echoed in my brain for hours. And right then, I knew I was done being quiet. It was time to step out of the dark. I started small, spoke up more in class, lifted my eyes when I answered, and the teacher praised me for the progress I'd made. During a class discussion about LK's most iconic poems, the teacher once again seemed eager to hear my thoughts.
Zara, what do you think LK meant by this poem?
Oops, everyone don't look at Zara. If you look at Zara, she freezes up like a statue and goes totally silent. And then the whole class burst into laughter, throwing mocking looks my way. It's about guilt. You can feel it, like he's haunted by something you did. The room went quiet. Everyone was gaping at me, including Liam.
Wow, that was a bold interpretation. But, you're not quite right. Thoughts, Liam? That's exactly what it's about.
Wait, what?
How can you be sure? Because I wrote it. LK. Liam Clint. That's me. Well done, Zara.
The room exploded. Everyone wanted his autograph. I couldn't believe my ears. He was the child prodigy who published an inspiring collection of poems at 14. No wonder I was so drawn to him. Something shifted after that. Liam and we started talking. Books, lyrics, stupid grammar jokes. He even asked me to read his upcoming poetry collection. We had that kind of spark that just came naturally. Maya sensed it and started being even meaner than ever before. She spread rumors that I had a crush on the librarian and even made fun of my secondhand shoes. I paid her no mind, thinking she'd get bored eventually. Until she crossed the line. A classmate was having a party and invited everyone. Maya convinced me that the themes was 80s chic, but when I arrived, it was a pool party and everyone else was in bikinis. I wanted to melt into the pool and never come out, but what came out of her lips next was even more shocking. Look at her, Liam. Always awkward. She's my sister and I can't even deal with her sometimes.
How can you say that about your sister?
Liam, come on. You and I? We make sense. Talented poets. Can you imagine the internet when you and I, the famous LK, and the social media rising star performed together? We'd be the ultimate power couple. That was the last straw. You? A poet? Do you have a problem with that? Yeah, I challenge you to a poetry battle. Tomorrow, at school. Are you sure you can speak without fainting? Don't worry about me. No more moping. Time to fight fire with poetry. After coming home, I locked myself in my room all evening. Fueled by determination, I poured my heart into verses I knew would reclaim my dignity and expose Maya's lies. When the battle began, Maya insisted on going first, calling it an act of bravery. Fine by me. Let's see how much longer she can keep up this act. This poem is special. It's called Mirrored Lies. I wear her face, but not her soul. I want the boy, but it plays no role. Talentless. Afith, you may. Her voice started shaking. Oh yeah, she just realized too late that the poem was about her. I stole her voice? What nonsense did you write here, Zara? Oh, so now it belongs to me? I stole it from you! Guys, it's just a mistake. Zara probably set me up because she was afraid to lose. I couldn't believe she could be that shameless. And then, the screen behind her lit up, playing the footage of how she had snuck into my room and stolen my work. The entire auditorium erupted, whispers spreading like wildfire. How could you? If you didn't want to be caught, you shouldn't have done it. The hidden camera got everything. I know you too well, sis. That trap was mine. Time to end your years of lies.
So, it's just as I suspected. Zara writes the poems and you recite them like they're yours, huh? I knew it. The way you talk is too shallow for someone who loves poetry.
Maya ran like the devil was after her. As she did, our eyes met for just a second. With her gone, it was my turn to sing. My hands were trembling. My throat was dry. But I was done watching from backstage while someone else took the credit. This is for the ones who were told to shrink so others could shine. Who owns a story if it's told by another? I took a deep breath, embraced the emotion, and began reading the poem I poured my soul into. You took what was mine and made it your crown. I spoke about being the soul behind the spotlight that never touched me until now. My words aren't yours to keep, to mold, to bend. This theft ends now, Maya. This is the end. I got a standing ovation. I took the risk, and this time, I shined. From that day on, the tables turned. Maya could only stare as her followers vanished one by one. All the people who followed me for my poetry have gone. It's all your fault.
Zara's poetry, you mean? Next time, try writing your own words. And I think you still owe Zara an apology.
I thought you were on my side. I'm your beloved daughter.
Zara is my daughter, too. We spoiled you, made you think everything should be yours. But life doesn't work like that.
Dad, do something about these two now!
How could you treat my precious daughter like that? So only your daughter is precious, huh? Then you can both pack your things and leave our house right now. I guess we're not valuable enough for you to stay with.
Mom's reaction caught me off guard. I never thought she could change so quickly. Dad and Maya left the house in anger, unable to stand her unwavering stare.
I'm truly sorry for neglecting you all this time. I failed as a mother. But please, give me a chance to make it up to you.
We held each other tightly, bursting into tears, an embrace that quietly healed what time had broken. That night, I uploaded my poems under my real name and social media lit up. This gave me goosebumps, realest thing I've heard in a while. At last, I found the confidence I had lost, and this time I had my mom by my side, truly caring. That made me happy. I was a different Zara now. Zara who knew her worth.
I've been thinking. For my next collection, do you think we could collab?
What? Are you for real?
Yeah, I'll have my manager draft something up. We split the revenue, creative control. I just want to duet with you. That poem was fire.
Oh my god! Was he catching feelings? Okay, play it cool, girl. Sounds good. But I still haven't gotten your autograph.
Autograph? I was thinking of asking you on a date.
Yes! Oh god, yes. It's a date. Helping each other shine is kind. But never let your own light dim just to keep someone else glowing.
Hi, I'm Miley Cyrus. You've probably heard some of my songs like Wrecking Ball, The Climb, and Flowers from my latest chart-topping album, Endless Summer Vacation. Although my most loyal fans have known me since my Disney Channel days. This story isn't about me though. Today I'm narrating the life of a young star from the South, just like me. I'll tell you why later. For now, please like and subscribe. I know all about being famous at a young age, and trust me, no glory comes without blood, sweat, and tears, and Scarlett Spencer was no exception. Her journey to stardom began in a small town in Texas. Her mother passed away long ago. Still, she grew up happily with her dad who owned a little diner, and her baby sister Naomi. These two were polar opposites. The quiet, introverted Scarlett helped out at the diner, while Naomi, who was in high school, lived and breathed social media. Give me a phone, mine's out of juice. Man, this brick's been only to call and text for years. It should have something new. In case you still haven't figured it out, well, Naomi's creating an Instagram account under her sister's name to post pics. Give it back! I need it now! Naomi, I already said I don't like social media. What's with this photo and the Ritz-Carlton and ridiculous caption? We were just there for Dad's delivery. Relax. Everybody has a social media presence these days. That photo will get you tons of hearts and followers. Honestly, if my sister ever did that to me, she would have been 6 feet under by now. But Scarlett let Naomi off the hook, because to her, Naomi was her bestest friend, who she could tell everything to, while Scarlett was the best sister she could ask for. Naomi knew she'd never find anyone else who'd satisfy her every whim like that. They frequented this spot by the lake for a stroll, a jog, or simply pouring their hearts out. I want to go where culture is, like New York or LA. The only thing exciting in this town is probably a party bus that comes by every millennium. You're a big dreamer, and that's good, but isn't a peaceful and quiet life nice too? Bless their hearts. They have no idea what's in store for them, but it's really hard to imagine that their uneventful lives could change. All of a sudden, when their dad got in an accident and lost his job. With no relatives, the family was dealt the worst hand. Scarlett alone couldn't manage the diner, Dad's medical bill, as well as Naomi. Then one day, their dad set them down, looking seriously insistent. I know that this is a lot to take in, but your mother, she's still alive. This is her. What? We got divorced and cut all ties long ago. I never spoke of it 'cause it's too complicated. Now that your old man is in this situation, you should go to your mother and shouldn't have to suffer because of me. Both of them were too shocked to speak. Scarlett went to her room, the photo squeezed tightly in her hand. Is this really my mother? When are we leaving? What are you excited about? All we have is this address and her photo. What if she won't accept us as her daughters? She abandoned us all those years, remember? It's still worth a try. Do you know, I've lost count how many times I've wished for a mother. And then this happened, like a miracle. Scarlett tossed and turned all night because of what her father revealed just now, while Naomi thought long and hard about what she would wear. The next morning, the sisters got up early and went to the address on the note, which led them to a magnificent building, Elite Talent Management. They stepped inside with bewilderment written all over their faces. Excuse me, we're looking for Mrs. Athena Kinsley? Perfect timing. Miss Kinsley's here this week for our statewide audition. In fact, she's right behind you. They were both in awe to see a woman who exudes sophistication and confidence. Naomi rushed to her. Excuse me, ma'am, are you Athena Kinsley? The woman gracefully turned around, lowered her shades, and scanned them both from head to toe. Hello, I'm Naomi Spencer, and this is my sister Scarlett. We, believe you're our mother. Does the name Joseph Spencer ring any bell to you? He's our dad. He told us to come find Mom. You. That was awkward, but they got a reaction out of the Ice Queen. She was shooketh, but quickly regained composure. You two, come with me. Clear my schedule. The girls followed her with uncertainty. When they reached the elevator, everyone inside immediately got out. Some of them even bowed to her. During the elevator ride, Scarlett and Naomi looked at each other in confusion about this lady who's supposedly their mother. Athena got down to business as soon as the door closed. I thought your father wanted you to forget that I existed. But here you are. Start talking. While Scarlett talked, Naomi looked around Athena's office with great excitement. Her eyes lit up when she saw a photo of Athena with Beyoncé. Did you work with Beyoncé? Yes, she's still one of my clients. Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lawrence, Britney Spears. I've worked with all of them. Surprise! The truth's finally out. I actually agreed to tell this story to return a favor Athena did for me when I parted ways with Disney. Rough times, but totally worth it. Okay, continue. As I was saying, Dad needs physical therapy and a private nurse, but we can afford neither. He needs your help. Mom? This is the first time we've spoken in so long, and you're just asking for money? I'm afraid it can't be that easy. Really? This is our father, your ex-husband. Jeez, why did I even bother coming here asking the person who abandoned us for help? Naomi, we're leaving. Sit down. I didn't say no, but I won't hand you a huge bag of cash for nothing. Instead, you can work for it. You do have a pretty face and quite a feisty character, and I have everything you'd need to get far in this business. How does that sound? That took a turn, but Naomi was even more surprised than I am. Why isn't Mom asking her, but only her sister? Her introverted anti-social media sister? No thanks. I want a nice breezy life and zero limelight. We'll figure something out. Without you! On their way home, Naomi kept nagging Scarlett for refusing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She left us! That was the first time we met after so long, yet she didn't fake a smile and even try to exploit us. Can't you see that? No! You assume she abandoned us. Dad kept her a secret all these years, so we must have lied about that too. Mom's offer is a win-win deal. Don't you see how respected she is? Despite seeing Naomi's point, Scarlett was still stubborn. The way I see it, they don't have much time to argue, because right at that moment, their dad was having a heart attack. Luckily, the girls arrived home right on time and brought him to the ER. After hours in the ICU, his condition became stable, but needed further observation. Scarlett's face got paler with every word the doctor said about her father's treatment. I'm no accountant, but this bunch of hospital bills surely sounds bad. Sis, Mom's offer still stands. Do something before it's too late. Scarlett reluctantly came to see Athena again. Before signing, Scarlett had a few demands. She'd receive a fair cut of the profit and will not owe Athena anything once the contract is no longer in effect, as well as a signing advance. Also, per contract, Athena would be Scarlett's manager. This is actually very common. My mom Tish has been my manager to this day, but that's me. I can't talk about her case. Scarlett immediately transferred her dad to the best hospital in Texas. Looking at his unconscious state, she got all the motivation she needed before leaving for the city, thoughts about her future swirling in her mind. From the start, Scarlett said she didn't want anyone to know they're related. Athena, being the professional she was, agreed. Then, Operation Ultimate Fashionista commenced. First off, an extensive daily workout for 3 hours with a personal trainer. Scarlett was used to physical labor, so she didn't break a sweat. But when she found out about the strict diet she had to follow, Scarlett realized she's in hell. What's wrong with you? You make me work out but don't let me eat? Silly girl. Don't you know the camera's at 10 pounds? You'll look like a manatee in your photos unless you lose weight. Almost forgot. Scarlett moved into Athena's mansion for her private training, while Naomi stayed home for school. At the moment, Scarlett was lonely on an empty stomach. I can understand how she's feeling, because I went through the same ordeal when I started touring at age 13. Scarlett decided to sneak out in the middle of the night to search for food. However, Athena was one step ahead and already locked the pantry. Hey sis, you caught me in the middle of my midnight supper. Oh my god, this food is bussin'. Anyway, how's Dad? I can't hear you. What's the weird noise? The sound of my pain and suffering. Watching you mukbang sure made it worse. Bye! And I'm sick of this food and this life. I need to find out how I can move to the city. Meanwhile, poor Scarlett could only sleep off her hunger, as she had to be up at 6 for training. Show business doesn't only demand talent and looks, but also the ability to handle being in the public eye. Sometimes you're a slip of tongue away from fading into oblivion. Media training was invented so we can learn to be public figures. That entire morning was spent on correcting Scarlett's posture, walk, and mannerisms. One more time, action! Hi, besties! Get ready with me to go to a ball! Stop! What now? Your accent. It's too distracting. Should we get rid of it? Perhaps tone it down a bit. It'll make her stand out, but we don't want too many risks. Risks? This is how I talk! Not anymore. That's enough for today. Thanks for coming in. Scarlett, of course, had no say in any of this. Now Athena's the one driving, and Scarlett's only in the passenger seat. Is she trying to make me a star or a slave? Can't she at least not look like Grumpy Cat and sound like a dictator all the time? Jeez, I have to learn strange stuff and change so much about myself. There's nothing wrong with my weight or accent. What's all this for? Sis, everyone who wants to be famous has to learn everything you just said. And the people Mom works with are all big names in the industry. So cool. Mom? To her, I only exist during business hours. I'm sure she wants the best for you. How about this? Ask her if I could come live with you. I could be your mediator. The responsible big sister side of Scarlett thought that's not a great idea, but the lonely teenager in her was craving some company. So, she asked and got Athena's approval right away. Naomi coming here is like returning to her natural habitat. This is amazing. Thanks, Mom. I can't wait to see this city. I don't have time to show you around. But here, take a cab and buy yourself something. Is it just me, or does she seem to get along much better with Mom? I totally see it too, Scarlett. When Scarlett's image became much more marketable, Athena got her first ever fashion photo shoot. But since this was Scarlett's first time modeling, she struggled the whole day, but couldn't seem to have any good shots. Let's try again. Remember, we want clean, athletic, smiley. Yeah, and she's giving dirty, tired, and paunchy. Everyone take 10. That's it! Look at all this stuff, guys. Isn't it crazy? Ah! What's wrong? Talk to me. I can't take this anymore. She is vicious. She doesn't give a flying crap that I beat myself up trying and orders me around like a puppet. This is draining me day by day. I'm exhausted. Naomi could only offer little comfort pats while listening to Scarlett's rant, but she's secretly thinking that her sister didn't know this was the life that others would kill to have. Little did Scarlett know, Naomi came to Athena immediately afterward. Mom, I want to be famous too. Make me. Sorry, that's a no. What does Scarlett have that I don't? I can do everything she does with a smile. You're only seeing this at a surface level. Scarlett's got that X factor. That's why I chose her. She's special, and you're not. That's it. She doesn't want that anyway. Who says? Show me. Never mind. Naomi sulkily walked out when she ran straight into Scarlett. What on earth happened? You wouldn't understand. This time, Scarlett got a better grip of the job and became more confident. Then her followers grew quickly when she had a few viral videos. Those numbers translate to more high-profile promo campaigns and countless PR packages from brands. Most of her free PR stuff went to Naomi, though. Scarlett got recognized and asked for photos more often whenever she went out, and she gradually and strangely loved it. Athena seemed to be satisfied and not giving her a hard time anymore, and even flashed the first smile. Most importantly, there's more money to go towards their dad's treatment. Thanks, my darlings. The doctors could proceed with every necessary procedure, so I'll be discharged any day now. By the way, does your mother treat you well? She better. Soon you won't need to bend over backwards anymore. When Dad gets better, this will all be over? Why do I suddenly feel kinda empty? Are you not happy to see Dad get better? What? No! Of course I'm happy for him! Right then, Naomi saw something that could change everything. What's that? Nothing. Scarlett's on cloud 9 to see all those times of intensive training, diet, and exercise finally bear fruits. Today, Athena even called her to her office. Maybe she wants to discuss the next trip, or plan to move to LA. I want to terminate our contract, effective immediately. What? What? You'll be compensated for this untimely breach of contract, which would be enough to cover everything, and hold on, why? You're no fit. Am I not getting more popular? What do you mean? You won't last. But it can still be a source of income. Why cut it completely? More profit for you too, right? Isn't that your sole target in doing this? Or are you afraid that I'll come back to bite you once I've made it? Watch your tongue. Regardless, we won't be working together. That's final. Tell me, are you scared people will figure out that I'm your daughter? Right, you never even came to see my frail, bedridden father. I never needed a mother like you anyway. Then a smack landed on Scarlett's face. She held her left cheek, eyes wide open, and glared at the person standing in front of her with great fury. Hi, it's your girl Miley again. Let's get on with Scarlett's life story, which was left on a cliffhanging slap. Watch your tongue. Regardless, we won't be working together. That's final. Tell me, are you scared people will figure out that I'm your daughter? Right, you never even came to see my frail, bedridden father. I never needed a mother like you anyway. Then a smack landed on Scarlett's face. She held her left cheek, eyes wide open, and glared at the person standing in front of her with great fury. Scarlett immediately began venting to Naomi as soon as she got home. No way, this is bad. Without a management company, it's really hard to maintain your popularity. I could not care any less. But obviously, Scarlett cared a lot. I've put so much effort into this, and now it's all going down the drain? Meanwhile, Naomi was more relieved than sorry. What now? I won't tell you what you want to hear. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and you're too young to have enough willpower for it. That describes my sister, don't you think? What's wrong? Talk to me. I can't take this anymore. She is vicious. She doesn't give a flying crap that I beat myself up trying and orders me around like a puppet. This is draining me day by day. I'm exhausted. When the video ended, Athena stayed quiet for a bit, then asked Naomi to leave. What about me? I'll think about it. So Naomi returned home and awaited Athena's call, but days had gone by and not a single word from her mother, not even when Scarlett got kicked out. After that fierce fight, Scarlett had to move into this shabby motel. Sheesh, where did she go? She might be mad at me, but she can't lash out like this. This woman has the audacity to call me after all that? Ugh, who needs Athena and her company? I can do this myself. Yahtzee! There's still one event I got invited to. That's my chance! Of course, she asked Naomi to help and be her +1, who happily agreed. But without the usual professional team, it took the girls too long to get ready, so they missed the red carpet ceremony of the fashion show. Luckily, Scarlett could still start networking at the after-party. However, her social battery was draining fast since she didn't know anyone here. Her eyes were darting around nervously, while Naomi ran about with a little kid's excitement. That body of yours is absurd, and even more mind-blowing up close. Have a drink with me, would you? No thanks. My date is getting my drink. Sorry. What? You think you ate? And nobody like you is lucky to even have my attention. Excuse me, is this guy bothering you? No, actually, yes. What took you so long, baby? Sorry, babe. There was a long line. Phew. Their charade works like a charm, and because of that, our shy girl got to know this gentleman. He's Finn, an art director / princess maker at Creative Artists Agency. Going independent is really tough, especially for newcomers. If you work with us, you'll have more options to your liking. I mean, it's your personal brand. For real, though? Ahem. Finn, this is my sister Naomi. Say hi, Naomi. Nice to meet you two. From that day on, Scarlett had been under Finn's management. He's so gentle and such a smooth talker, but when it comes to work, Finn can be pretty harsh. No, this whole fit makes you 5 feet tall, and that top's from last year's collection. Try to keep up. But how? I'll literally have to dive into multiple piles just to find something that isn't a size 0. You might think a personal stylist could make this easier, but your audience can sense that it's not authentically you, and it'll just be much harder for you to build rapport. I can see you have quite a personality. You just don't know how to show it through your style yet. Alright, that's actually really profound. I never thought about this stuff that way. Stuff? So, what got you into this? That prompted Scarlett to tell him everything. Surprisingly, that guy seemed like a good listener. That is some story. Still, you managed to build a following mostly thanks to your genuine charm. I believe I can teach you more about this stuff and make you fall in love. With real fashion, I mean. And here I thought he was gonna judge me. Ever since she had a handsome, patient trainer guiding her every step, Scarlett gradually gained more respect and interest for what she was doing. Their relationship eventually became more intimate and went beyond the professional boundary. It looked like they knew each other in their past lives. Here, one tasty reward for you. Yes! Oh, hang on. I'm on a diet. Consider today your cheat day. Something to keep you motivated. Come on, an ice cream won't put you in a food coma. You're right. Oh, sorry. You're such a klutz. It was smooth sailing for Scarlett. One day out of the blue, a mukbanger appeared on her For You page. And that's Naomi. How long has this been going on? Why didn't you tell me? Who are you working with? None of your business. Excuse me? I didn't say anything. I was gonna say, eating a humongous amount of food like that can be bad. Maybe you're against this because you're afraid I'll take all your spotlight. Ain't that right? No use talking to her right now. Perhaps I can ask Finn for advice. To her utmost surprise, Scarlett saw that Naomi was with Finn. In the long run, you'll either develop a terrible eating habit, or worse, an eating disorder. This is your one and only body. Take good care of it. Everything's going as planned. Don't worry. I won't get fat no matter how much I eat. Stay calm, Scarlett. Don't barge in and interrogate them. No! Finn, I can't believe you brought Naomi down that road. I asked him to. Interfere again and we're no longer sisters. Those traitors thought they're so smooth. Fine, let the Cold War begin. On the other hand, Finn tried to make amends, but to no avail. I didn't have the chance to explain myself. Scarlett's emotional state took a nosedive, while Naomi's mukbang channel blew up. Needless to say, she was absolutely delighted. See, I am on Scarlett's level. I already got millions of hearts and a dedicated fan base. Little did Naomi know, praise is often followed by criticism and haters. Look at this pufferfish's face. I don't think it's because she's stuffing her face constantly. Girl just got played by genetics. Girls, be nice. Why are you defending that ugly glutton? That's my sister. Problem much? I can't sit still and let her do this to herself. But who could possibly get to her? Definitely not me. In the evening, Scarlett saw that she had hundreds of missed calls, all from Athena. What does she want now? We already went our separate ways. However, that prompted Athena to come see her at her place. Please, don't make a scene. I'm here to talk. You are making a scene showing up here. What do you want? It's about Naomi. I am worried about her. That finally convinced Scarlett to have a talk with Athena, which led them to an unexpectedly long discussion about their family. I'm not asking for your sympathy, but you should know how we cut ties. Your dad and I are polar opposites. I wanted the hustle and bustle in life, but your dad wanted a peaceful life in the country. I did try to raise a family with him back there. God knows I tried. But that ain't me. So, when I left, your dad was so angry he banned me from ever returning. Don't you dare bring that face here one more time! Leave us alone! Since then, I could only watch you two from afar. If it makes you feel any better, he took care of us very well. He's a family man, always has been. And Naomi, I soon realized that she's my spitting image. Impulsive, chipper, yet naive. I didn't want her to be in show business, especially this young, or else she'd make the same mistake I did. That's why you were my pick. I never intended for us to fall out. I truly wanted a wealthy life for you, and I thought I could train you into a star like I did every other girl. So when I heard you say how exhausted and trapped you felt living with me, I decided to end it as well as your suffering. What? When did I tell you that? Actually, Naomi told me. You're not supposed to know this. Oh, turns out her action that day was triggered by Naomi. Did my sister do that because she was looking out for me and simply thought I wouldn't tell Mom myself? Or was there any hidden motive? I'll have to find out myself. If we didn't have this heart-to-heart today, our feud might go on forever. Come to think of it, her iciness could have been the product of the cold, harsh show business. Their mother-daughter talk went on till dawn. Scarlett also told her that she hated this job at first, but slowly warmed up to it, and now wanted to commit to it, which made Athena really happy. At the same time, Naomi's videos gained more viewership as well as so many hate comments she couldn't ignore. Anyone reading such remarks about themselves would more or less be upset. Sensitive Naomi got a panic attack. Right at that moment, Scarlett stepped into her room, realized what was happening, and hurried over to catch Naomi. Then she put her in a fetal position. A few minutes later, Naomi calmed down. Feeling any better? Yes, I can breathe normally now. Thank you. Then stop your monkey business this instant! I talked to Mum. She said you're not ready to be an influencer, and I agree with her. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Mom doesn't know me. She didn't raise me or help me become famous, and now she's getting you on her side to go against me? I thought the same. Until we spoke, we misunderstood her, Naomi. And you, still worried about me stealing your thunder? We'll see who's more famous and rich. I've had enough of you. Naomi's reaction was so scary. Scarlett couldn't believe this person was her sister. When Naomi stormed off, she didn't have the strength to go after her either. Was I too much? No, absolutely not. She deserved it for what she did. Scarlett can never understand what it's always like to feel inferior, less important, or constantly trying to escape her shadow. As Scarlett was having a migraine because of her sister, she suddenly received Finn's message, which was asking to see her that evening. He told her to come to this cafe. Although Scarlett was still mad at Finn, she wanted to hear him out, seeing how urgent his texts were. It's Naomi. She's resorting to problematic measures to avoid weight gain. Her staff said that she always tries to purge in the bathroom after shooting each video, so I kept an eye on her, and also saw her starving herself for days before going on camera, or drinking slimming tea. I got worried, but can't do much about it because, well, I'm not her manager anymore. I saw her this afternoon, but she won't listen to me now. Have you tried talking to her? I haven't been able to get a hold of her since this morning. Ugh! Scarlett, I'm so sorry. I wanted to help Naomi because I saw her passion burn so bright. So I hooked her up with the right people and such. And mostly because I wanted you to never mind. Meanwhile, Naomi was somewhere no one could find her. She curled into a ball, eyes glued to her phone. I'm such a big fat loser. Right then, Scarlett's phone got a text message. It's from Naomi. Scarlett's face darkened as she read it. I'm doing fine, but I need some time for myself, so I'll be away for a while. Don't look for me. At this point, we should put aside our differences and search for Naomi together. Both Finn and Scarlett looked everywhere, but found no info on Naomi's whereabouts. It's like she vanished into thin air or used Ninja's technique to hide herself. Also, Scarlett was really busy fulfilling her duties as a model. This is so weird. Naomi can't go a day without updating her story, but it's been days without anything new on all of her socials. All right, you're a little pale lately, Scarlett. It's one thing to worry about Naomi, but take care of yourself, okay? Like you care? Of course I do. You are my sole focus now. Don't just push me away. Aw, who can stay mad at someone this sweet? Since Scarlett and Finn resumed their collaboration, her popularity soared. However, they made no progress in finding Naomi, which upset Scarlett. Even though she's surrounded by fancy material stuff, she wasn't truly at ease. All of a sudden, #CancelScarlett became #1 on Twitter's trending page. Then multiple screenshots of seriously problematic tweets that are supposedly from Scarlett's account surfaced, causing more public backlash. Obviously, she got boycotted, which led to her follower count plummeting and her losing contracts with multiple brands. Despite the company's effort to clear everything up, the damage was done. The fact that those photos were fake couldn't stop keyboard warriors from attacking her. and Scarlet had to face horrible insults on a daily basis. So, all this time, Naomi had to deal with this kind of stuff? That must have been mentally excruciating, especially since she couldn't share with anyone. And I even reprimanded her. Naomi, where are you now? I'll definitely find out who's behind all of that. Cyberbullies must pay. You all think you can hide behind your screen and spit out whatever filthy words you know to bring down people with a reputation to uphold. You picked the wrong targets this time. It wasn't easy, but thanks to the company's resources, Scarlet's team managed to track down everyone who ever made hate comments against the sisters and brought them to the police. But when Scarlet came down to the station and saw the lineup, an astonishing sight welcomed her. One of them was Naomi. Hey y'all, your one and only Miley Cyrus is back once again with the Spencer sisters story. Things were getting more complicated, right? Where were we? Oh yeah, Scarlet was determined to bring keyboard warriors who cyberbullied her and Naomi to justice, and soon she accomplished just that. But Scarlet was shocked to her core to see a familiar face among them. That's Naomi? What in the world? Even your girl is shooketh. What's gonna happen next? Let's find out in this episode. From the moment their eyes met, Scarlet was completely dumbfounded. Scarlet, Why? How could you, Naomi? Naomi said nothing and just kept her head down, but Scarlet could no longer stand on her own feet. I'm okay. Naomi, a word, please. Why do you look like this? And why you did this? You know what? When those constant waves of comments tormented me, do you know how I kept my head above water? I told myself, I don't really know them. Their words can never hurt me. But I can't wrap my head around the fact that the one hurting me is my own sister. As soon as Athena got news from Scarlet, she dashed to the police station and then arrived in the middle of the sisters' argument. Scarlet, before you call me the worst names in existence, I want you to trust me and know that it's simply how I handle stress. Seriously? Hear me out. I was so happy for you in the beginning, but eventually jealousy just started creeping in. I felt small and insignificant living under the same roof as a head-turning popular big sister. It got worse when people on the internet started comparing me to you, and I felt like I was nothing but a piece of trash. Gradually, I found myself coming to your haters' forum, and that's a slippery slope. Being among them made me feel like I mattered, like those people actually listened to what I had to say. It's like I was finally someone, and I didn't want it to end. Before Scarlet could react, Athena couldn't stop herself from sobbing out loud, and the girls saw her. Mom? To their surprise, Athena suddenly slumped down. It's all my fault. I led you two down this path. Never have Scarlet seen Athena like this, and neither did Naomi. Where had the icy tyrant woman gone? Naomi, you have to stop before it's too late. It will eat you up and swallow you whole. Sorry, Mom, but if you're really my mother, you shouldn't have stopped me when you refused to help me. You could have just let me do whatever I wanted, and I could have figured it out the hard way myself. And from now on, I want to be free from you. I want people to know me as me, Naomi, not your sister. We belong in different worlds. Naomi, I can't even recognize you anymore. Naomi didn't say a thing and was gonna leave, but police officers immediately seized her. Just let it go. Then Scarlet and Athena returned to the suspects' lineup and saw that Finn was still there with an anxious look on his face. Scarlet, where have you been? You okay? Scarlet couldn't hold her anger any longer and screamed at the lineup. See how you've ruined our lives? Happy now? You carelessly threw around that bone-crushing, hateful language just for fun and never paid those on the other end any mind. Now you'll face my wrath. You're Athena Kingsley of Elite Talent Management, aren't you? Why you? Oh, yeah, I am, my mother. Come again? Yeah, she's my mother. Don't act so surprised. Mom, this is Finn, my agency's creative director. I'll go with her. Get home safe, okay? Wait here. I'll get the car. While waiting for Scarlet, Athena and Finn had a little chat. It's a pleasure to meet the famous Ms. Kingsley. I've heard great things about you. Oh, you've made quite a name for yourself as well, Mr. Finn Simpson. Well, that would be exaggerating. I see the way you look at Scarlet. I can tell there's something bubbling under it. She might look like a tough cookie, but she's my sweet, sensitive girl. Treat her well, or I'll crush you into a fine powder and scatter it on Mount Oblivion. You hear me? Yes, loud and clear. And Naomi, that girl's quite a handful, isn't she? Since she's under your management as well, keep an eye on her for me, would you? Yes, ma'am. Can't forget that. Right then, Scarlet halted the car in front of them. Mom, let's go. Finn, you're still here? Well, I'll see you again soon. Bye. Scarlet and her mum didn't say a word the whole way. Perhaps they were both exhausted from today's crazy mess. If it were me, I would just lie down and sleep it off like a log till morning. Unexpectedly, Athena blurted out, Scarlet, could you take me to your dad now? Why so sudden? 'Cause I was still mad and didn't want to see his face. No, the truth is, I'm a coward who wouldn't dare face him. Until today do I have the guts. They drove to her father's hospital room to find him sleeping peacefully. Let me wake him up. It's all right. Let him sleep. Then Scarlet went out to give them some privacy. Remember me? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? How come we only met again when you can't hear a word I say? Let alone answer. I know you're still mad at me, and I was mad at you too, but I've learned to live with it. And seeing how well you raised our babies made me feel much more at ease. I've done nothing to help them all these years, yet they turned on each other all because of me. I promise I'll make things right. Trust me. And please, forgive me. Then Athena left right away. But little did she know, her voice did reach him. If anything happens, call me right this instant, okay? Right after their goodbye, Scarlet received a text message from Finn. Wanna go for a walk? This is the first time I've been to the beach at night. I love how serene it is. How did you find such a cool place? There's so much you don't know about me. Then they sat down for a heart-to-heart talk. The gentle breeze and the sound of waves soothed their jaded souls. Things do be crazy, right? Kind of. But you've been so strong. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. And thank you for staying by my side. It's been a while since I felt this calm. And so long since I saw your carefree smile. By the way, I just saw the news about an influencer contest, which sounds interesting. Isn't it American Influencer? Yeah, I was about to tell you too. Want to sign up? Do you think I can win? Of course I do. You're good at everything you do, especially messing with me. I mean, my thoughts. Okay, then where shall I begin? My looks, retake a soft skill course, and... Enough about work, okay? Scarlet was taken aback, then went with the flow. They gave each other the sweetest kiss ever. The golden moonlight shining on the shimmering sea made the night even more romantic. Okay, guys, you've seen enough movies to know what's happening. Shall we talk about Naomi a bit? After the incident at the police station, she had a mental breakdown for a week straight and isolated herself from the rest. She lived like a zombie in her own apocalypse till one day. I've dwelled in misery long enough. This calls for a rebirth. Let the best version of me be born. And so she entered her transformation era, invigorated and ready. She even chopped off her long hair and went through minor plastic surgery to add some highlights to her face. I got the sort of perfect looks down. Nothing will stand in my way of success. Wow, gotta admit, she's kinda rocking this cool new look. Reminds me of my wrecking ball era. During this time, Naomi still replied to her mom and Scarlet's messages, but meeting up was still a no-no. The only one she saw regularly was her dad, to whom she could pour out all her thoughts. I'm much better now. You don't have to come so often anymore. This much back and forth is gonna wear you out. It's what I wanna do. Anyway, I'll be a bit busy this time around, so I actually can't see you as much. Please rest up so you can come home and celebrate my accomplishments. All right, you betcha. Better get going then. Don't make them wait. As soon as Naomi left, Mr. Spencer's smile disappeared. His expression was of pure agony. Maybe he's not doing as well as we thought. Hi, Finn. Long time no see. Naomi, you look different, but in a good way. Listen, I've thought it through. I want to go professional. Help me, will you? Yeah, sure. I want to join. No, I'll win this competition. As if on cue, Scarlet appeared. Naomi? Oh, Scarlet, perfect timing. Naomi, featuring her brand new appearance, is back. Do you know how worried I am? Come on, she must have her own reason. Truce? By the way, Scarlet, have you decided on the influencer contest? Naomi is in it too. The stage is all yours, ladies. She's joining too? No, two sisters competing against each other in the same competition at this time is like kicking off the Third World War. No thanks, I'm not interested anymore. Losing interest all of a sudden? I want to compete fair and square with you. So put away that patronizing attitude. I don't need it. No, I don't. Fine, watch me. Come on, relax. You both win, okay? Scarlet and Naomi exchanged sulky looks, but can't hold it for long before bursting out laughing for no reason. Come to think of it, Naomi is very much like your mom, full of determination and ambition. Yeah, I took after Dad and got the easygoing gene. I guess that happens to every sibling duo. True to her words, Scarlet followed a laid-back lifestyle, which drew lots of fans to her. Now, this is not just a job, but also a passion of hers, sharing good tips and spreading positive energy to everyone. Meanwhile, Naomi was hard at work to be ready for the competition. She tried to grow in every aspect, and pushed herself hard in the gym. She also read tons of books and joined courses to enhance every skill she thought might be necessary. 24 hours a day didn't seem enough. There were days when she worked her butt off till bedtime, and she simply let her body crawl into deep sleep without changing into her PJs or doing her nighttime skincare routine. Still, Athena and Scarlet always kept a worried eye on Naomi. Naomi, we can help! I'm sorry, but I need to focus. I'm so sorry. I want to make you proud, and I can't afford any distraction. When Scarlett told Finn, he said he'd handle this. Since then, Finn spent more time with Naomi and her advisor, and they became close. Scarlett saw how Naomi brightened up, but couldn't help but feel uneasy. Of course she'd feel that way. Finn's spending less time with her. Scarlett, wake up. Now is not the time for this nonsense. I feel you, girl. There's something I hadn't told you. After that night's big kiss, Finn professed his love, and they became an item. Yay! The competition finally commenced. Scarlett, Athena, and Finn were in the audience awaiting Naomi's performance. Out of the blue, Scarlett got a call from her dad's personal nurse. Scarlett, your dad's condition is getting real bad. You'd better get here now. Should we tell Naomi about this? Of course we should. Yes, you'll regret not telling her. Right then, the host announced it's Naomi's turn. Scarlett immediately ran up and dragged Naomi backstage. Naomi, we have to go! It's Dad! He's getting worse, I'm afraid! What? Dad? I just saw him a few days ago and he was fine. Why now? I don't know. Scarlett, I'm sorry, but this is my last chance. Please take care of him for me. I have to go. Then Scarlett, Athena, and Finn immediately left, but they were only a few steps away when they saw Naomi black out on stage. At the same time, Mr. Spencer was also fighting his own battle. His prognosis was bad. We're sorry. We've tried our best. No! Dad, please don't go. Dad! You're awake. Calm down. What were you dreaming about to be sweating like this? Dad, where's Dad? Then there was a familiar voice from the bed next to hers. I'm right here. It's truly a blessing that Mr. Spencer's no longer in critical condition. And you fainted on stage and were taken to the ER. Some time had passed when their dad and Naomi became stable. I couldn't remember the last time we went here together. I still remember how much I hated this place, but now I think it's grown on me. I can kinda appreciate it now. Why did you suddenly want to go home and leave everything behind? I've always wanted to make something of myself, so I chased after something I didn't really understand like crazy. The moment I saw Dad left us for heaven, I felt dead on the inside. Even though it was just a dream, I can now look back and safely say I was wrong all this time. You know, to me, being in show business means creating values for your audience. Fame is sort of a byproduct, not the end result. Being famous feels almost unreal, like a fever dream. Those who flatter us today might turn their back on us the next day. Only familial love will remain till the end unconditionally. Mr. Spencer returned to his beloved diner, and today's special since these four were giving him a hand. Sit down. I got this. Hey, my help expires today, old man. Enjoy it when you can. I ain't here tomorrow. Oh, hey, I saw your daughter on TV yesterday. She really is going places. She's a whole package. A beautiful face and a heart of gold. I saw her on a charity program, too. Scarlett was still shining bright in her own way. You're actually looking at the receiver of the Influencer of the Year award. But now, she's got another loyal fan for herself. Alright, that's about it, folks. Phew, just telling you guys this story gave me a spinning headache. Luckily, everyone has their own happy ending. Scarlett and Finn are getting engaged next month. Oops, that's not in the script. Shh, I didn't tell you nothing. Being famous seems great and all. But remember, don't let it control you. Comment below if you want to see me in another episode. Mwahs!
Hi, I'm Donna, an influencer extraordinaire and soon-to-be supermodel. My family are my biggest supporters. Look, there's my sister Charlotte. Even though my parents are busy running the family corporation, they buy me whatever I want. This includes this spectacular dress for the upcoming Elite Model Look contest. Girls, get ready. We're eating out tonight. Yay! Charlotte just helped Dad secure another business contract, so it's time to celebrate. At the restaurant, Mom, Dad, and Charlotte walked ahead while I showed my 329,587 followers around. My fans even commented that I should compete for Miss USA. Suddenly, someone bumped into me, causing me to drop my phone. Oh no, my live stream's ended, and it's all his fault! Idiot, you ruined my live stream! Now my fans will think I'm rude and unfollow me. Are you walking with your eyes closed? Sorry, I didn't mean to. Let me make it up for you. Donna the Fabulous? Okay, you've just got one more follower. What a jinx! He better stay out of my sight. But as soon as I reached our table, I saw his face again. Why is he here? Donna, this is Matthew, our new finance director. Oh, how important. But not as much as live streaming, right? Who does he think he is? Charlotte even laughed at his stupid joke. Speaking of which, Donna, you're going to study business from now on. Time to stop those modeling, live streaming things. What? But why? You've always supported my dreams before.
But Dad just ignored me and chatted with Matthew. Dad was being so unreasonable. Everything was fine until that Matthew guy showed up. Charlotte comforted me and suggested we attend business classes for me while I prepared for the modeling contest. What a brilliant idea! Oh, I love my amazing quick-witted sister. I then put all of my focus into practicing for the contest. But Matthew kept on disturbing me with his nonsense. He even sent me a picture of wedding rings saying, "Are these okay? Think they'll match us?" I frantically called him to ask him what all the gibberish was about. "Hasn't your dad told you yet? We're getting engaged and taking charge of the company together." What on earth is this guy saying? Since when was I expected to marry some guy I barely knew and take over a business I had no interest in? Dad should have some explanation for this. Upon arriving home, I confronted Dad, but he just sighed and said he was planning on telling me himself. But you can't just dictate my career and who I marry. Donna, I only want the best for you. But Dad, Donna didn't even attend her business classes and is still indulging in her nonsense fashion club. How can you expect her to handle the company? Oh no, why is she telling him that? Was she trying to help me? She's right, Dad. I have no interest in business at all. I can't. If that's the case, then you can start as vice president and get some hands-on experience. And you, Charlotte, you'll be Donna's personal assistant and support her. No! This is not how you want it to turn out. Dad used to love us both, but now he didn't even listen. Ugh, yes, Charlotte, my savior. She would surely know what to do. I can't believe it. I've tried so hard to prove myself, only to have everything given to a simple-minded fool like you. Simple-minded? That's what you really think of me? Well, I guess I just gotta take my new position to show her how simple-minded I am then. So the next morning, I dolled up and strutted to the company lobby under a different name, Miss Vice President. Ha! Look at those gawking eyes wishing they could escape from the boring suits. Matthew was there too, and was he laughing? Suddenly, my heel got tangled up in my dress and I tripped over. What a disaster! Matthew offered me his hand and asked if I was okay. Who needs his help? And all the silly chatters? Just wait and see. And by that, I mean now. Matthew introduced me to the company's core members and announced some new strategic goals for the company. ROI, margin, accounts. Geez, what kind of language is he speaking? After what seemed like an eternity, he asked if anyone wanted to add anything. Aha! I, of course, couldn't miss a chance to show my leadership. This office is seriously lacking some colors. Violet blinds would be a good start, and some motivational pictures really help boost productivity. Oh, you mean putting up motivational quotes? Oh, please, no. Motivation comes from the all-time fashion greats. You know, Bella Hadid, Tyra Banks, Kendall Jenner. Everyone gawped at me, while Charlotte furiously signaled me to stop. Everyone here is so boring! Alright, I'll stop then. My first day was then followed by tedious meetings and schedules. Everyone was talking gibberish and making me sign a bunch of papers. But every cloud has a silver lining, and for a foodie like me, that's dinner meetings. These people really know how to enjoy life, don't they? But before I could even have my first bite, they all started asking me about proposal this and project that. Fortunately, Matthew was there to save the day. Honestly, he seems pretty good at his job, and he's quite attractive when focused. Oh yeah, work. I gotta contribute my own talents at work too. So, the next day, I put the sign on my door, then sat back and watched my favorite fashion show. Ooh, look at those dazzling dresses! One day, I'd be walking the runway in a gown like that, not sitting here surrounded by confusing numbers and papers. Later, when I opened the door, an endless line of people was already waiting for me. Jeez, can't this company with all these brilliant brains function without me? Right then, Charlotte came dragging me away. What happened? Oh gosh, I didn't know that my computer was connected to the meeting room's projector, so everyone had been watching Project Runway with me. Matthew was in the conference room too. Why didn't he fix it? Okay, everyone. We should thank our cute boss for giving us a lot of ideas for our problems. He finished the meeting and led them out. But Charlotte was still standing there fuming at me. Cute? There is nothing cute about it. Don't get any wrong ideas that he likes you. Wait for me, Maddie. What is with that attitude? Oh, right. I've seen the gooey-eyed look she gives Matthew. Does she have feelings for him? Before I could pry further, I was sent to Millen for another stupid meeting. Feeling bored, I watched a fashion show to kill time when someone startled me from my side. I personally think this collection is overrated. Oh, sorry if I scared you. I'm Brian. He then gave me his business card, and wow, he's the CEO of a modeling firm in France. Are you coming to the fashion week too? I wish. I actually came for work. What a pity. There's a modeling contest this week. I can tell a true beauty like you is destined for the crown.
I missed so many chances to be on the runway. If I make it this time, maybe Mom and Dad will see how serious I am about modeling. This is too amazing of an offer to refuse. Brian, I'm coming with you! At the show, I made sure my phone was off so I could truly immerse myself in all the glamour of the newest fall collection. Brian then kept his word and took me to the audition. I was super nervous at first, but unexpectedly, everyone else looked so amateur. Meanwhile, I strutted like a pro, confident that this time I would get an offer. But for now, reality was calling. As soon as I turned on my phone, a zillion missed calls from Dad and Matthew popped up. This screamed trouble, so I quickly got Brian's contacts and returned home. There, Charlotte went all banshee shrieking mode on me, accusing me of being irresponsible and selfish for skipping the important meeting. Dad, if you don't do something about this, Donna will destroy the company you've worked so hard to build.
That's right. But instead of yelling at her, you should have been there to help out. I'm so disappointed in you, Charlotte.
Oh God. Charlotte's face turned pale immediately. Dad should be scolding me, not her. Feeling a little bad for Charlotte, the next day I went to talk to her, but it sounded like she was arguing with someone inside. I walked in to see Matthew sitting there with loads of pictures of Brian and me. We're still, in Charlotte's words, it looked like we were dating.
A few photos can't change the fact that we're getting engaged.
He then grabbed my hand and pulled me outside, leaving a stunned Charlotte behind. How are you so sure that I'm not seeing someone else?
It's just a feeling. Or maybe it's just my hope, because
What did he mean by hope? And holy shrimp, why is my heart beating so crazy? What a day. I thought it was finally over when Dad slammed the pictures of me and Brian down in front of me. He was so mad at me, he decided our engagement would be tomorrow instead of a month, as planned. But I haven't mentally prepared for this. So here I am, at my engagement ceremony, waiting for my fiancé to arrive. Just kidding. Actually, Brian called me last minute to tell me the best news ever. A fashion brand had chosen me as their ambassador. I needed to fly over for some paperwork. Thanks to him, I successfully escaped the engagement and flew to Milan to meet up with him. Finally, I got to pursue my long-repressed dream in my favorite city and not pay heed to my dad's ridiculous orders. Yay! As I woke up the next morning, I eagerly reached for my phone to call Brian, but... Where was it? I looked at the nightstand, but my passport, my wallet, and all of my stuff had disappeared. I dashed to the reception asking for Brian's room, but they all shook their heads saying there was no one by that name staying there. Frantic, I used their computer and checked the website for his phone number, but it kept saying error. Then I looked up any information about the contest, but found zilch. How could he do this to me? I trusted him. Now I'm in a foreign country, all alone, and with no money. What am I gonna do? I can't just call Dad to come get me. And neither can I call Charlotte. There's only one person I could contact right now. So I called Matthew, and he flew over immediately. We were walking along the Navili Canal to get some dinner before heading back. I thought he would be furious right now because I ran away from our engagement, but he was just quiet the whole time. So, is it okay for you to suddenly come here? I mean, work and stuff, you know?
It's alright. You come first. Everything else comes after.
That's sweet of him, but I needed to make sure he didn't get the wrong message. I called for your help, but that doesn't mean I want to get engaged. I'm not ready to commit.
At first, I wanted this marriage to happen, but now I'm not so sure anymore.
Oh my. Did me running away from the engagement upset him that much? As we stepped through the door, I saw Mom, Dad, and Charlotte waiting for us. Charlotte instantly bombarded me with her dolphin frequency yelling, saying how much they worried about me, how irresponsible and terrible I was.
You should have won an Oscar for your acting, Charlotte. Unfortunately, your partner played you this time.
Acting? And what partner? Turns out Charlotte was the one behind all of this. She hired Brian from the beginning to make me look bad in my parents' eyes. She also made sure my engagement with Matthew didn't go as planned. Everything played out just as she'd wanted, but she didn't think Brian's greed would get the best of him. He called Matthew saying he was holding me for ransom, and during the call, the idiot fraud accidentally brought up Charlotte. We were all too shook to even speak, when Charlotte burst out crying. You're right! It was me all along! She's never done anything useful, yet got everything meant for me! Mom, Dad, if you needed someone to take care of the company and marry Maddie, why her? Why not me?
You haven't told them anything this whole time?
I was still processing everything when my dad sighed and said,
I was going to tell you both when the time felt right, but seeing you pitting against each other like this hurts me so much. Actually, Donna, we're not your biological parents.
Turns out, Dad was my parents' private lawyer, and the company belonged to my real parents, not to Dad. But then, my parents got into a terrible accident, And during their last minutes, they gave the company, and me, over to him. They asked Dad to raise me properly and arrange for me to marry Matthew as a part of their deal with Matthew's parents. Growing up and seeing me so passionate about modeling, Dad was going to let Charlotte run the company and let me live my life how I wanted to. But then Matthew and his family showed up and insisted we get engaged according to the deal. Dad had no choice but to respect them and carry out my parents' will. So, my current beloved mom and dad are not my actual family. Worse still, my biological parents had both passed away. Donna, we hope you understand. Though we're not related, we have always loved you as our daughter. This is very hard for us too. I looked at Mom and Dad, the ones who had always loved and cared for me. Mom, Dad, just like you two, I'm sure my parents would want me to do what makes me happy. Though I am the lawful heiress of the company, I can only do harm to it. So I hope you understand, and let Charlotte take over it. She's a better suit than me.
That's right. You cannot force someone into doing something they don't like. Neither can you force someone into love.
Woohoo! No more boring office job. Instead, I've put all my energy into elite model look. And here I am today. You've got this, Donna. I confidently strutted down the runway with Mom, Dad, and Charlotte cheering from the audience. And when I finished my part, I joined my family and nervously waited for the MC to announce the chosen ones.
Samantha Friske, Amelia Davis, and Donna Rossi.
Yes! I've made it! I've been waiting for this day for so long! Suddenly, I spotted Matthew coming towards us.
Congratulations, Donna. I knew you'd get it.
Thank you for coming.
I know love cannot be forced, nor should I rush it, but whenever you're ready. Donna, will you go out with me?
How about now?
Hello, Dana? Have you heard from Vicky yet? I anxiously asked. Vicky hadn't shown up for school, but she wasn't at home either. She'd gone AWOL. And I was frantic with worry, especially as it passed 10 p.m. already. Nope, this is very out of her character. Martin, tell me what's going on between you two. I facepalmed. Ugh, the word complicated wouldn't even be enough to describe this situation. It's a long story. Let me just tell you from the beginning. It started way back when I was just a kindergarten kid. I met my first ever enemy, Vincent Green. We just didn't see things eye to eye from the get-go. One normal day, I just finished my Lego city when Vincent charged over like Godzilla and smashed it to pieces. And so the war between us continued, one that carried on throughout our school years. He sabotaged everything I did and vice versa. One time when it was my turn to sing in music class, Vincent made fart noises and the whole class burst out laughing. Fair and square, that same day I poured liquid glue over his art collage. Another time he stuck a note on my back saying, "I wet the bed." Seriously, I was getting really paranoid as to why all these kids were laughing and pointing at me. Ugh. So in return, I put this fluffy pink teddy in his backpack. And in class, when he went to pull out his pencil case, the teddy flew out and landed in the middle of the room. Back then, Vincent had already seemed to be quite a girl magnet. I guess they viewed him as a pretty boy, but come on. All kids look the same, right? So I started going around telling everyone, Vincent only wants to play with the girls, ew, gross. 5 years later, and our feud was still ripe. Vincent was great at studying, and baseball too. He was the PE teacher's favorite. And I know this sounds stupid, but that being flocked by girl thing was no longer gross. It was like a medal of honor. I tried so hard to be better than Vincent in everything. I was also one of the top students. I joined the soccer team. And I also had girls surrounding me. Still, that was not enough. Not until Vincent accepted his defeat. But then middle school started, and guess what? Vincent wasn't there. Finally, I was free of him. Now I could stay on top, flirt with girls, and become basketball captain without him trying to sabotage me. All eyes were on me, and it was fantastic. Although there was a small part of me that missed the competitiveness. Then on another day, like every other day in high school, I was walking along the corridor and noticed that all the girls were getting in a frenzy about something. "What's going on?" I asked my best friend Tyler when I arrived at my locker. "Not sure. It's probably the new boy or something. Girls are squealing all over the place." I didn't feel good about this. And then, just like in those slow-mo Korean drama scenes, the new boy ambled along the hall charmingly smiling, one hand holding a baseball bat, the other air-shooting girls. My face was slowly getting hot, eyes goggled at the new boy. Yes, it was Vincent. He slid past me, sneered and winked. What a lousy jerk. That was definitely another declaration of war. A few days later, I saw Vincent everywhere, applying for class president, competing for the baseball team captain position, and flirting with pretty much every girl in school. Ugh. He was like a bad rash that wouldn't go away. To make it worse, his grades from previous school somehow ended up published online, which made everyone go giddy for him. Ugh, Vincent Green, you just wait for it. However, he would have to probably wait forever, because I was ready to give up all the competitive intentions the moment I met Vicky. It was at lunchtime. I was having lunch with Tyler in the school garden when Dana, Tyler's girlfriend, came over. Behind her was an angel. I was stunned, mouth wide open. My half-eaten sandwich even fell from my hand. Dana said, "Hi boys, this is Vicky, my best friend. She used to be my neighbor until her family moved away. But she's just transferred back here now." Vicky gave us both a friendly smile. I, of course, took that chance and befriended her right away. Soon, Vicky and I started hanging out. When I was with her, it felt like everyone else had been muted. She was this ray of light in the darkness. She was perfect for me. Smart, beautiful, exquisite. And she was the only girl in school who didn't go all fluttery around Vincent. Actually, she hadn't so much as mentioned him once. I invited her over to my house, and my parents liked her so much they asked her to stay for dinner. Afterward, Vicky suggested watching a movie. The time whizzed past, and soon it was 10 p.m., and she had to leave. Let me take you home," I insisted. But she told me her brother was already on his way. So I led her down to the living room to wait. The doorbell rang. I went to answer to find Vincent standing there. We both froze and glared at each other. What on earth was he doing here? That's when Vicky walked over to him and said, "Let's go." Then she turned to me and kissed me on the cheek. Aw, sweet. But I couldn't think about this right now. Why was my mortal enemy at my front door? Vincent grunted, "Vicky, what's going on here?" I also snarled, "Yeah, Vicky, what's he doing here?" Despite the death stares we were giving each other, she just shrugged. "Oh, Vinny, this is my boyfriend Martin. Martin, this is Vincent, my brother." Brother? My wonderful and perfect girlfriend is Vincent Green's sister? No. Yo, you're dating this loser? Vincent pointed a shaking finger at me. You are really that jerk's sister? I was trembling even more, while Vicky seemed unbothered as she walked toward the car. Vincent immediately growled at me. "Stay away from my sister," before he quickly chased after her. I stood there deadly still, a horrified look on my face. I probably resembled some sort of gargoyle. No way. How could an amazing girl like Vicky be related to that jerk? The next day, Vicky texted me to meet her at the cafe. "We need to talk." Uh-oh, no man ever wants to hear those words. Talk about a bad omen. But we were meant to be going on a double date with Tyler and Dana tonight, weren't we? I entered the cafe to see Vicky sitting there, looking all sulky with her arms folded. Oh no, this didn't look good. Before I even had a chance to sit down, she blurted out, "Martin, why have you never told me about your arch enemy? Do you have any idea how big of a fight Vincent and I had last night?" I sat there open-mouthed. Truth was, since meeting Vicky, I no longer cared about Vincent or our war. I only wanted to focus on Vicky. She made me so happy. I explained this to her, and she replied, "Vincent still hates you. He's forbidden me from meeting you again. Of course, I'm not listening to him, but I want you to both solve this dumb feud." "There is nothing to solve. He started this back when we were just little kids. He's a grade A jerk." I started to get heated. Vicky sighed. "I mean it. You guys need to talk. As for me, I'm not going to let Vincent tell me who I can and can't see. I was so mad at that dude, I just refused to understand her words. I repeatedly came back at her that I didn't want to solve anything with Vincent. Then it got worse. Being as stupid as I could, I blurted out, "It's either him or me, so who's it going to be?" Vicky furiously stood up, shouted, "How dare you make me choose a side? I love you, but that's my brother," then stormed off. Did she just say she loved me? Oh man, what had I just done? To my surprise, the double date still went ahead. The four of us were in this Italian restaurant, but Vicky hadn't said a word. This was so awkward. When Vicky was in the restroom, Dana gave me a piece of advice. "You should listen to Vicky. Go make peace with Vincent." Then, to my annoyance, Tyler also agreed with Dana. I ignored that and asked Dana to take Vicky home. Later, we got into another big fight on the phone. I couldn't understand why she kept telling me to reconcile with that idiot. Just because she didn't want to stand between two rivals? Furiously, I said, "I hate your brother. So there's no way I'm going to reconcile. If you love me, you'll be on my side." Vicky yelled out, "Both of you are so childish, and neither of you care about my feelings." Then she hung up. So that was the story. Now this brings you up to date, and I have zero clue as to where my girlfriend is. I need to find her, and if that involves putting my differences with Vincent aside, then so be it. So I called everyone to the park, including him. "What you two did to Vicky was so obviously wrong," Tyler spoke up. "Being stuck in the middle of her bro and her boyfriend must suck. Neither of you even stopped to consider her feelings. Dana continued. Vicky loves you both very much. Don't make her choose. You guys should talk. Then both of them stood up and left us there. Vincent and I sat in awkward silence for a while. Eventually, he cleared his throat. I have to admit that I've been envying you. All the girls adored you. You're smart and great at sports. Vicky falling for you proves that you'd finally defeated me. That's why I got so mad. I looked at him with wide eyes. That was exactly what I thought about Vincent. I always felt like second fiddle to him. Always. I told him this, then we both scratched our heads and laughed. Then I said, geez, what a couple of insecure losers we are. Vincent replied, yeah, we're both pretty stupid for a pair of smart guys. Truce? He held out his hand and I shook it. We realized that no amount of attention could compare to the love we got from our girl Vicky. Suddenly, something popped up in my head. I know where Vicky is, I said. Let's go, Uncle Vinny. Vincent and I called Tyler and Dana, and then we went to the 24/7 cafe, where Vicky usually took me. There I found her dozing on a couch on the second floor. I gently shook her and said, wakey, wakey, sleeping beauty, you gave us all a fright. When she saw that Vincent was there too, and we weren't biting each other's heads off, she gave this huge smile. After that, we all sat down and chatted over hot chocolates and cookies. Finally, the infinity war between two rivals had come to an end. I no longer have an enemy. Instead, I have a new close friend. It's funny how things turn out sometimes, isn't it? Now I'm a part of a group of 5 wonderful people, especially my girlfriend. What more can I ask for? Life is beautiful.
This was my first ever day at high school, and naturally, I'm owning it. I mean, who wouldn't want to befriend someone as beautiful and friendly as me? By lunchtime, I already had loads of new friends, and everyone flocked around me to hear stories about my amazing life. I soon became super popular at school. I was the gorgeous, enchanting blonde beauty. Do you know what the best part was? Boys started noticing me too. Even the captain of the basketball team, Mitch, took a liking to me. It makes sense. I mean, obviously, the best-looking boy in the school is going to be interested in the best-looking girl. And guess what? He's following me on my way home right now. Stalking me much, huh? Just wait for it. It seemed like my new life here in this school was going to be awesome. Well, Mandy. That was not an easy question, but you answered it perfectly. Great work. See? I'm not just a pretty face. I'm also one of the smartest students in the school. My admirers grew and grew. It seemed like everyone wanted to spend time with someone as perfect as me. Here, I was telling my new friends about how at first, people sometimes misjudge me, as I come from a well-educated and extremely successful family. My parents are super wealthy individuals who encourage me to always be the best version of myself and strive hard to never let them down. Hey, Mandy, pardon me, but how come you never wear designer clothes or use anything expensive? She looked down at my tatty-looking sneakers. I see why it might seem a little peculiar, but you see, I dress this way because my parents value the importance of being humble. That's also how I live. Goodness is better than beauty, right? Then I pulled out my phone and showed them the grades from my last school. Everyone gasped at me for being so excellent. I was loved, admired, adored. But of course, being this amazing meant that there's just gotta be quite a few kids being jealous of me. I mean, I suppose I couldn't blame them. After all, I dazzled like a diamond, while they were just dull and ordinary. One time after an exam, as soon as the teacher left, this girl called Layla stood up and said, Mandy cheated. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it too. She checked her phone during the exam. Everyone was gasping in shock. Right at that moment, the class president, Marshall, shouted, Hey, quit it! We all know Mandy's a great student. There's no way she cheated. Huh, that's what I'm talking about. Layla and Susan must be bursting with envy that their petty plan to ruin me didn't work. And the class president, he came out of nowhere to protect me. He must be another one of my many admirers. But sorry, Marshall, I'm way out of your league. A girl like me needed a handsome, rich, mature kind of guy. These boys at school are cute, but they're just boys. They're beneath me. One time I was in a rush and didn't have time to search my locker, so I accidentally took the wrong textbook with me to class. Seeing my mistake, Layla and Susan immediately jumped in. Uh-oh, what's this? We thought Miss Perfection here never messed anything up. I didn't even have a chance to say anything, as this Beth girl spoke up. Hey, cut it out! Who doesn't make mistakes once in a while, huh? Here, you can share mine. Oh, wow. This girl was kinda nice. It was good to have an ally to deal with Layla and Susan. So, at lunchtime, I joined Beth's table. We started chatting, and she was clearly fascinated by how amazing my life was. Great! Now I had a faithful sidekick. Hey, Beth, help me do the homework for today, okay? Again? I have to attend a very important party with my parents tonight. There will be politicians and plutocrats. I won't have time to do homework. Now I have to go home early to get dressed and do my makeup. Bye! I didn't need to turn around to see her funny, bewildered face. She looked like that every time I asked her to do my homework. But it was worth it, right, Beth? She got to hang out with the hottest prodigy in school, me. So a little bit of extra homework was a small price to pay for such a privilege. You know, to me, that homework was nothing. I just didn't have time for it. I had to admit that having Beth around was very convenient. She made sure my grades stayed top of the class, leaving me time to play polo, go to the golf club, and attend charity functions with my parents. She also let me borrow her dresses, bags, makeup, and this super cute pair of high heels. My friends admired me, strangers idolized me, my teachers adored me, and I had a wonderful, loyal best friend. Life was perfect. Until one day, as I was shimmying along the hallway, I noticed something odd. People weren't giving me their usual looks of adoration. Instead, they were turning their noses up at me. Huh? What was happening? Hey, Beth, do you know what's going on? People are acting really weird. She just shrugged. I don't know. Let's see. I tried to tell myself that it was no big deal, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. Then later that day, my worst fears were confirmed. As I entered the classroom, Marshall came over to me and waved his phone in my face. Good game, Miss Perfect. Turns out you're just a big fat liar. I looked at his phone and saw a long post with a lot of photos attached. There's a big title saying, The Truth About Mandy the Liar, and each photo came with a caption. Mandy's house is actually very ordinary. She lives with her grandparents. There are no luxurious mansions or wealthy parents. When Mandy just came to the school, she made friends with everyone, bragging about her fame, fortune, and popularity. I don't know who she is. So what if we just shared the same path to the bus stop? Who said that I intend to get acquainted with her? Her transcript from her old school isn't even hers. She's just photoshopped her name on it. Every time she stood up to answer a question or take a test, she cheated, so she got a good grade. God, all this? How did they know? It felt like my heart had lodged in my throat, and my mind was spinning. My eyes blurred when I saw Layla and Susan approaching me. I stared at them in shock. Mandy, honestly, we don't hate you. It's just that we realized your stories were ridiculous, so we decided to find out the truth. That's right, but you sure did cover your tracks. We couldn't find a thing. Hang on, so who found these pieces of evidence? I did! Right at that moment, my so-called best friend appeared, followed by the homeroom teacher. Mandy, I know you think I'm some desperate wannabe you can control, but no! I soon worked out that everything you said was a lie, so I gathered evidence to prove it. Everyone was gawping at me with disappointment. I felt completely overwhelmed by the situation. This couldn't actually be happening. I pinched my arm. Ouch! It was as painful and as real as what was going down before my eyes right now. Beth continued. It's not good for you to live a lie like this. Who even are you? Ah! Reality images started flooding into my mind, making my brain feel like it was going to explode. I grabbed my head and ran out of the classroom. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in the hospital. The homeroom teacher was sitting next to me, and my grandparents were also there. They all looked very disappointed. Mandy, the principal was very angry and was about to expel you. But it was Beth and her friends who convinced him to let you stay. What? Beth? But she was the one who exposed me. Noticing my surprise, the teacher continued. After seeing your reaction, Beth realized that perhaps you had a psychological problem, so she convinced us to help bring you to the hospital for diagnosis. I looked up at my grandparents. They were all in tears. Unexpectedly, I burst out crying. I longed so much to have a dream life full of fame, riches, and admirers that I drew a vision for myself in another reality. I was so absorbed in that illusory scenario that I forgot my own reality. This was last month, and I'm currently on medication for my delusions, and I'm also seeing a therapist. Right now, I'm on my way to see Beth, Layla, Susan, and Marshall. No, I'm not making it up. I really am meeting them. Oh gosh, there they are. This is scary, but it's something I've got to do. So I took a deep breath, then taking my therapist's advice, I spoke from the heart. Hi guys, thanks for coming. Firstly, I want to apologize for lying. The truth is, I've lived the lie so much that I could no longer distinguish what was real and what wasn't. My therapist helped me see that this all began after I lost my parents. Part of my subconscious craved for this dream life so badly that I created a new one. This way I didn't have to accept the truth, which is that my parents have passed away and I live with my dirt-poor grandparents. When I finished talking, I looked at them, half expecting them to shout at me or something, but instead, Beth smiled at me and said, "It took a lot of guts to come here and say that." I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have outed you like that, but I didn't know you were ill. Same. I'm proud of you. Me too. Me 3. Now, when are we gonna order cake? So, what now? Well, I'm still taking my medication and talking to my therapist. I can now tell the difference between the make-believe and reality. Also, I'm back at school, and my teachers and classmates have all been really welcoming. Better still, I now have some awesome friends who like me for me. And you know what? It turns out that living in reality isn't actually so bad after all.